Hey everyone, are you ready for this? We're going to take a deep dive into some pretty fascinating stuff today. A lot of you have been asking about AI, and well, we found a great source to unpack.
Oh, yeah.
A speech by, who else? Sundar Pichai.
Google CEO.
The one and only, gave it in Paris, 2025, and let me tell you, it's packed with insights about, well, the future of AI.
Interesting. I'm always curious to hear what he has to say.
Well, you're in luck because we're about to dive right in, but you know, it's not just about the tech, it gets like personal.
Yeah.
Pichai talks about growing up in India. Imagine waiting 5 years for a phone line.
Wow.
A rotary phone line. And get this, he talks about how transformative it was, especially for his mom's medical test results.
I can only imagine.
No more 4-hour trips just to find out they weren't ready.
I can see why he starts there. Grounds the conversation. Reminds us that even the most cutting-edge tech is ultimately about, improving lives. And just like that phone solved a real problem for his family, Pichai sees AI as having that same potential, but on an even grander scale.
No, he doesn't hold back. He flat out says AI's impact will be bigger than the personal computer or the mobile phone revolution. Bold statement.
It is. What makes him so confident?
Well, a few things. First, AI is becoming more, human-like in how it, understands us, interacts with us. It's not just about crunching numbers anymore.
So it's more like AI is becoming a partner, not just a tool.
Right.
And second, he makes the point that it's not limited to one specific field. We're talking about general purpose technology here.
Which means?
It's got applications in every aspect of our lives. Healthcare, education, transportation, everything.
And the crazy part, he even mentioned this AI processing costs have dropped.
Dropped. By how much?
By a mind-blowing 97% in just 18 months.
Wow, that's incredible.
Imagine what that means for everyone. As AI becomes more affordable, smaller startups, individuals, everyone can innovate.
That's one of the reasons why Pichai believes AI will be even more democratizing than the internet itself. It's removing those barriers, empowering more people to create and contribute.
And speaking of creating, we got to talk about Google. Pichai spends a lot of time highlighting their AI achievements.
Of course, they've been at the forefront of this for a while.
Breakthroughs in language understanding, AlphaGo, beating the world's best Go players.
Yeah.
The transformer architecture behind today's generative AI, it's a lot.
It is. It's important to remember, though, these aren't just, wins for Google. These are fundamental shifts in how we approach AI as a whole. Language understanding, that's key to making AI more intuitive.
Right.
AlphaGo. That showed us AI can master complex strategic thinking. And the transformer architecture, that opened the door for those super creative AI applications we're seeing pop up everywhere.
It's like they're all in, He talks about their full stack approach.
The stack.
I'll admit, sounded a bit like tech jargon to me at first.
Well, think of it like this. They're not just developing algorithms. They're building the entire ecosystem around AI.
Okay, I'm following.
Infrastructure, models, the developer tools, even real-world applications used by billions of people? Like Google Search, Maps, and Android.
That sounds like a brilliant strategy, but, some people argue that this kind of dominance from Google could be bad, stifling innovation from smaller players, right?
It's a fair point. We need diversity in the AI landscape. Competition is good, but at the same time, Google's investment in infrastructure, that's undeniably speeding things up.
So it could benefit everyone in the long run.
Potentially. It'll be interesting to watch how this plays out, that's for sure.
It's one thing to talk about infrastructure and algorithms.
Right.
But what does this actually mean for us, for our lives? Pichai gets into some really cool applications. Some of them sound like straight out of science fiction.
I would think of the same thing. He's really good at bringing it all to life with actual examples.
Not just abstract concepts. It's about how AI can help us solve real problems.
Make things more fun.
Exactly. Like those deep research agents he talked about. Imagine planning a vacation.
Oh, I hate planning vacations.
AI analyzes costs, weather, visa requirements, even suggests destinations based on your preferences.
Sign me up. No more endless scrolling through travel blogs.
Right. Take the stress out of trip planning.
AI making better decisions faster. I like it.
And get this, he talked about Notebook LM. Can turn a stack of boring documents into podcasts.
Really?
Over 350 years worth of audio overviews in just 3 months. Imagine getting the key points from those long research papers without reading them.
Think about what that means for education. Complex research, easy to understand.
For everyone.
Exactly.
And then there was this thing, Project Astra. Point your phone's camera at something, the AI tells you all about it.
Wait, seriously?
Like walking through a museum, getting instant information on everything, or identifying that weird plant in your backyard.
Like a universal knowledge base.
In your pocket. It really makes you think, right? A truly ubiquitous AI assistant everywhere. And that's just the beginning.
And, speaking of solving problems, AI is going to have a huge impact on autonomous driving.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In fact, Pichai actually shared a story about taking his, 80-year-old father for a ride.
But no, Waymo!
Yeah.
I remember that. It was a really powerful anecdote, not just about the tech, you could feel the emotion. Someone from his father's generation experiencing that.
I know, right?
It must have been incredible.
It really highlights how AI can touch our lives in ways we don't even think about. It's not just about, convenience. It's about giving people a sense of freedom.
Independence.
Exactly.
So I gotta say, some people are still nervous about self-driving cars. Are they really ready for, prime time? Are they safe enough?
Yeah, I get it. It's natural to be cautious. But Pichai pointed out that Waymo has already given over 4 million passenger trips. In 4 cities. That's a lot of data.
4 million. Wow, that's a lot.
And to get to that scale, they've had to clear some pretty big safety hurdles.
Right.
Prove they're reliable.
It seems like this technology, it's moving from science fiction to reality way faster than anyone thought.
It speaks to how fast AI is evolving.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's not just about the algorithms. Google, they have all this expertise in mapping.
Navigation.
From Google Maps, right.
So the same tech that helps us find coffee is now navigating driverless cars.
Pretty much.
It's pretty wild. But Pichai's vision for AI, it's way bigger than self-driving cars.
Oh, yeah.
He talked a lot about AI for social good. Those examples were really powerful.
I agree. He highlighted 3 key areas: expanding language access, advancing healthcare,
and improving disaster response.
Exactly. And each one of those shows how AI can tackle some of the world's toughest problems.
Starting with language. Makes sense, given his background.
Makes sense.
Google Translate added over 110 new languages, including, get this, many African languages, all thanks to AI.
Imagine a world where language isn't a barrier anymore. People connecting across borders. Information accessible to everyone, no matter what language they speak.
That's a really beautiful thought.
It is.
And then there's healthcare. We talked about Institute Curie in fighting cancer, but there were those diabetic retinopathy screenings too.
Oh yeah, in India and Thailand.
Using AI to automate those screenings, early detection and treatment for a condition that can cause blindness, reaching people who might not normally have access to those services.
It's like bringing top-notch healthcare to the most remote parts of the world.
And then disaster response. AI can literally save lives here.
Absolutely.
Flood Hub now covers over 100 countries, gives communities a 7-day warning before floods. They're using AI to map wildfires in real time, even detect small fires with that FireSat technology.
AI helping us react to natural disasters more effectively. That could save so many lives.
It's incredible. But, Pichai acknowledged it's not all perfect. There are downsides, potential risks with AI. He didn't shy away from that.
No, he didn't. It's important to be realistic.
See the whole picture. He really stressed the need for responsible AI development, highlighted 4 key areas we have to think about.
I see them.
Fostering an ecosystem of innovators and adopters.
Okay.
Investing in infrastructure, preparing the workforce for this AI-driven future, and addressing those potential risks. That's a lot.
It is. Each one of those is crucial if we want to make sure AI is used ethically and benefits everyone.
So let's break it down a bit. What does he mean by that first one? Fostering an ecosystem of innovators and adopters.
He's talking about creating an environment where AI research can thrive, where businesses can adopt AI solutions easily. We need policies that encourage innovation.
Support startups, researchers. Makes sense.
Yep.
And what about the infrastructure? Google's pouring resources into their AI infrastructure, but is that happening globally?
Pichai mentioned that the big tech companies, together they're investing something like $300 billion this year. A lot of that is for AI infrastructure.
So it sounds like there's a global push to build that foundation.
There is.
But all this investment raises another question. What about jobs? We know AI is going to automate some jobs, right? So how do we make sure people are ready for the jobs of the future?
Well, Pichai believes that AI will also create new jobs, not just replace old ones, and that education is key. We need to equip people with the skills they need to thrive in this new world.
He specifically mentioned Grow with Google, trained 100 million people in digital skills globally. And there's the Global AI Opportunity Fund, too, investing $120 million in AI education. Sounds like they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Those are good steps. It's all about opportunity, making sure everyone has the chance to participate in this new economy.
Okay, so we've talked about innovation, infrastructure, and the workforce. But what about those limitations and risks of AI? What are some of the concerns?
Accuracy, for one. And factuality. We've all heard about chatbots making stuff up, deep fakes, spreading misinformation.
That's scary stuff.
It is. These are serious issues.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement, but we can't forget that AI can be misused,
Absolutely.
like any tool. So how do we minimize those risks?
Transparency is a big one.
Yeah.
If people understand how AI works, they'll be better at spotting potential problems.
Biases, inaccuracies, make sense. But is transparency enough? Don't we need some kind of guidelines, regulations?
We do. We need to make sure AI is used responsibly. And that's where public policy comes in. Pichai thinks governments have a big role to play here.
Supporting responsible AI development.
Exactly.
So how does he see that playing out? What should governments be doing?
Well, he thinks governments should definitely support responsible AI development. But he also warns against too much regulation.
Too much.
Yeah, like overly burdensome regulations could stifle innovation.
It's a tough balance, right? We want to encourage progress, but not at the expense of safety or ethics. So what does he suggest? Like, what are the principles for good AI policy?
He actually laid out 4 key principles. First, address the risks, but don't kill innovation. Find that balance.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Second, build on the laws we already have. Don't just create a whole bunch of new ones from scratch. He thinks a lot of existing legal frameworks, we can adapt those to AI.
So evolution, not revolution, for the legal side of things.
Oh.
Got it. What about the other 2?
Third, global alignment. We don't want different AI rules in every country. That'd be a mess.
Right, it would. Like, a global technology needs global cooperation. Kind of like the internet. It works best when everyone's on the same page. What was that last principle?
The fourth one is about strategy. Government should take a strategic approach to, drive AI investment and adoption.
So funding research, supporting education and training, creating incentives for businesses. Got it. It sounds like Pichai sees this as a team effort. Governments, industry, researchers, all working together.
Exactly. He really emphasized making sure the benefits of AI are shared widely, not just concentrated in the hands of a few.
Which brings us back to that idea of AI's democratizing power.
Yes. He sees it as a tool that can empower individuals, level the playing field, make sure everyone has access to information and opportunities.
So that the digital divide doesn't become an AI divide.
Exactly.
It's pretty inspiring to think about the long-term impact, If Pichai's right, we could be at the start of a golden age of innovation, all driven by AI.
He definitely thinks so. I mean, think about it. We're already seeing AI do things that seemed impossible just a few years ago. Who knows what the future holds?
It's exciting, but with all this talk about the good stuff, we can't forget about the risks. It's good that Pichai is talking about responsible AI development. He's not just cheering for the tech. He's acknowledging the potential downsides.
Right. We need more of that. We need to be excited about the possibilities, but also cautious. It's about finding that balance.
Harnessing AI for good without, creating unintended consequences. At the end of his speech, he asks this question. I think it's a good one for us to think about as we wrap up today. He asks, what if the biggest risk with AI is not what it can do, but what we might miss out on?
If we don't embrace it.
Yeah. Makes you think, right? It's a call to action. We need to be informed. We need to be part of shaping the future of AI so that it's a force for good.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been a really fascinating look at Sundar Pichai's vision. From the tech advancements to the ethical questions to the role of government, it's a lot to unpack.
It is. It's complex. It's changing all the time.
Yeah.
But one thing's for sure, AI is here to stay. And it's going to have a huge impact on all of us.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. And until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep imagining the possibilities.